Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options and Play video update. We are heading into an interesting week for a couple of reasons. This earnings season has played out a little bit similar to last, where a lot of news has been sold. So, good news or bad news, seems like stocks tend to trade lower. Um, it doesn't mean that all the numbers are bad, it just means that we're in an environment where they're not really rewarding earnings reports, right? So, had heading into the coming week, what's interesting about the names reporting is that a lot are high priced slash new issues slash at one time momentum names, and those in particular have been really just like struggling to find a bottom. So a big week for earnings, but also a big week for a lot of these names because they probably need some good news and some good action. All right. So before the open on Monday, Trade Desk, about 60 to 62 points is what's priced in. It's actually a big Monday report. We don't normally have stocks like this on Mondays, but it had a really nice beat and raise. Last quarter had a nice print the quarter before that. Environment totally different right now though. It's at support around 600. You can see that nice bounce there, and I think the number should be solid, but I guess the overall market's really going to dictate whether or not the stock moves, right? I mean, that's the only thing I can say about it. Options, they seem to me a little bit too expensive with all those question marks. Plus, like last quarter, it didn't have a major gap and it gave an opportunity to trade it during the session. So I think I'm just going to look at it like intraday. Workhorse, also Monday morning. About $1.50 or so is what they're looking for on this one. I guess this would only be a speculative idea to me. See if they have any follow up on losing that USPS deal. The downside from here is probably smaller than the potential upside, but I guess I'm just not sure there's gonna be any big update during the week. But maybe something speculative, maybe something on the upside, just in case on the off chance that there is an update. I mean, it seems like the stock is due, or the stock could have a pretty nice pop. After the close on Monday, 3D about 2.25 is what's priced in. SSYS just reported though, barely moved. So this one doesn't really seem like it's going to be in play, but I'm still keeping my eye on this group. Affirm. So about 9.5 points is what's priced in. Those are monthly options. I mean, you can see how fast this thing fell apart. This was a swing trade we had open. Worked good at first on the breakout. It looked like it was actually going to extend, but then it just turned and just sank really fast. Earnings wise, I mean, it's definitely a tougher setup now because traders just don't seem to be rewarding patterns on stocks like this with that are sitting at their low, that are high priced. This is going to be a wait and see, especially because there's a ton more similar setups later in the week. So I'm kind of curious to see how this one plays out. Might set the tone for the others. Novavax, about 27 points is what they're looking for. I already had a roller coaster week, but it didn't even have any news of its own. Still waiting on UK approval. Also, still waiting on that US phase 3 vaccine readout. So maybe Monday's the day, right? You got earnings scheduled. I feel like it's a good time to release the news that it's been waiting on. So I feel like if it does have data, it could move pretty significantly. So at 27 points, the options might be underpriced if the data comes out. Roblox, about 7 points is what's expected here. First Report is a public company, so it should be a mover. Right now, I guess you have to view most of these types of setups as with like a bearish lean, but Roblox has acted pretty well. Option pricing maybe a little bit higher though, and I guess that would keep me away from it, but I might be watching this right after its report if I don't play any options on it for earnings. And then Space, which is priced in about 2.25, and VLDR, which is priced in about 2 points, but those are monthly options. Broken, momentum plays, I mean, they've just mostly stayed broken, so Space, VLDR, I mean, I feel like these would be more swing trade ideas down the road if they can begin to turn around and really repair their charts, because right now they just do not seem interesting to me. For the open on Tuesday, Palantir, so about 2.25 is what they're looking for. It got hit on last quarter's earnings, and to me, the stock looks very susceptible right now as it hovers below 20. If it isn't a blowout, this to me seems like it could have a path lower. Tuesday after the close, yay. So about 8 points is what's expected. I guess this is maybe the gaming stock I've traded the least recently, but it could still be a mover occasionally. Activision was pretty solid. Maybe that sets the tone for the group. I may also still look at Take-Two as a sympathy play because they don't report next week, and it could maybe move off of EA. Okay, Upstart. So 17 points is what's priced in here. Those are monthly options. It had a ridiculously big beat last quarter, and then the stock like tripled. I would not be expecting that type of same reaction, but I do think that the number could be pretty good. And it could actually still be set up for higher prices. This is one of the software names that's held in better. So I might look at something speculative bullish. I guess we'll see if like tech firms up Monday and Tuesday. Might kind of determine whether I do anything with this one. And then Big C, which is priced in about 6.5 points. Those are monthly options. Fubo, I'm going to lump these all together. Fubo is priced in 275. Lemonade's pricing in 9. Open Door is pricing in 275. Those are monthly options. And then Unity is pricing in 9.5, and those are monthly options. And I mean, I lumped them together, even though I know, like, sector-wise, they're not all the same. It's just there's just so many broken stocks sitting there, like their monthly lows, and like the problem is that many are pricing in like pretty big moves, and the action hasn't been good. They're expecting very big moves. Good reports haven't been rewarded. So, just overall, like tougher setups. Of that group I mentioned, I'd say maybe like Fubo is the most interesting from an option pricing perspective because it does seem like it leaves maybe a little bit of room. Maybe not a lot, but it could leave a little bit of room. So, of those, that might be the one I'd look at. Wednesday before the open, Dynatrace. So, about 475 is what's expected. Those are monthly options. This was a leading software name, but just broke down recently. It had a solid quarter last time, and a nice run. It's not crazy expensive like others, so maybe this one could be a quicker snapback name if they crush it and tech recovers next week. And then Wix. So about 27 points is what's priced in. Those are also monthly options. It did end up having like a really big post-earnings move last quarter, but that was the second day after earnings. So the actual day of earnings, it didn't really move a lot. And I remember it's because like the options got hit pretty hard, and then the following day just had a gigantic move. So I don't think I'm really out the money for the options into earnings, but I'll definitely hawk in it right after the results come out to see if it follows a similar pattern again. Wednesday after the close. A bunch of new IPOs. So Bumble is pricing in about 7. Those are monthly options. Well, let's go through all of them. So Bumble is pricing in about 7. Coupang is pricing in about 4. Those are monthly options. Poshmark is pricing in about 7. Those are also monthly options. Wish is pricing in 2.25. Again, monthly options. And then Vroom is pricing in. Vroom is pricing in 5 points, and those are monthly options as well. So, I mean, each chart is not great. I'd say of the group though, Coupang to me maybe seems most interesting just because of the pricing. Based off of where the stock is, how far it's dropped, average move. It seems like this could be set up for a move, and 4 points is not too bad. So if I can get the risk down, I might look at a volatility strategy on that one. And then Sonos also reports Wednesday after the close. They're pricing in 5 points. Those are monthly options. It's been a standout, and it's off its high, but in general, I feel like it continues to hold in well. Crushed it the past 2 quarters. So expectations are a little bit higher, but I mean, it could have a pretty fast snapback if the numbers are good, and maybe I wouldn't be expecting a huge move to the upside, but I feel like Like if I had to lean one direction, I might lean more to like the bull side. Before the open on Thursday, Baba, big name, about 10 points is what's expected. This hasn't been a great earnings play for a while, but this chart to me seems pretty make or break down here because this is sitting right at a huge level. So it seems more interesting this time. If it doesn't hold, there's a lot of room lower, right? And also it's way, way, way off its high. Um, and it seems like there's room to move either way. And the pricing, it's not cheap on the options, but it also does seem like it could maybe leave some room. So seems like a volatility strategy candidate. Billy, about 9 points is what they're looking for here. It's been a high flying Chinese tech name. It's quieted down, so off its high after this wild run. Um, I, I can't figure out if this is an earnings play or maybe a better swing trade idea. Because if it breaks below 100, it seems like there's room. Also, if it breaks above 115, it seems like there's room. Um, but it's not a bad setup, though. Goose. About 5 points is what they're looking for here. They absolutely crushed it last quarter, and it's held in well. Retail still in a good spot, and I feel like could be set up for more upside if the numbers are strong again because it's off its high from a couple months ago, coming off a good quarter. Retail's been acting well, so I might look at something speculative bullish there. Yeti, about 7.5 points is what they're looking for. The stock acts great now, but earnings haven't been the best catalyst on it. It sold off on a good print last quarter, and now it's significantly higher. Um, it's a tight pattern, and if it resolves, could be a bigger mover. But I'm kind of on the fence with Yeti. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything with it. After the close on Thursday, big night. Some high-profile names. So Airbnb priced in about 16. It has not been acting well. It has a looming lockup expiration too, from what I hear, and that might keep a lid on this in the near term. I feel there was potential on this if it could have gotten through 200, but I mean it's so far away now that it's going to take time to even get close to that. So I'm probably not going to focus on this for earnings, but also, they need to turn momentum around soon, or this could have a date with the January low because it's a pretty slippery slope. Coinbase, so about 23 points is what they're looking for. First report is public company. Maybe that's what it needs for a bounce because it just tested its IPO low or IPO price at 250 yesterday. Bouncing a little bit now, but it's really struggling big time. And I feel like if it rebounds earlier in the week, then maybe less of a trade idea for me. If it kind of stays down here around like 260, 250s, then maybe more so. I might be more interested to take a shot in it. So it's really going to depend on how the week goes because that's going to determine whether I do anything with it. DoorDash. So the pricing in about 14.5 points. Back to its low again. I mean, it's a tough spot going into earnings. It's momentum is gone. It's at its low. Stay-at-home plays are not in favor right now, and Dash isn't cheap either, even after this drop. It seems like there's more downside potential on it, but also option pricing is kind of high, so I'm kind of on the fence with that one. Disney, about 8 points is what they're looking for. I wish the option pricing was just a little bit lower here because this seems like it could be a solid volatility strategy candidate. It's been out of play for a couple months. It's hanging right at like key support. Seems due for a bigger move to me either way. And my only real hesitation is the pricing. But maybe if I can get risk down, I'll look at a strangle on it. And then Fitch. So Farfetch. Ticker's FTCH. About 7 points is what they're looking for. Those are monthly options. Archegos Fallout name here. Still heavy. It does look susceptible still, and actually lots of e-commerce names have rolled over pretty hard. We've had some success swing trading this. We're able to participate in this move and caught like a quick pop before it really started to roll. So I think I might just stick with like the swing trade. Earnings to me a little bit maybe too many question marks here, and I feel like if it can like have a good print or bad print and start to like resolve like this like either to the downside or maybe start to rebound, might be a better swing trade opportunity because it's like when it starts to move, it can really string together days in a row. So I think that's how I'm going to leave it. And then Friday before the Open, there's nothing scheduled. JD isn't confirmed. If JD confirms, that'll be a big one, but they haven't. So that's it. All right. So you can see that there's still a lot of names, a lot of big names, a lot of big priced in moves. But we're gonna have to take it one day at a time to see whether earnings get rewarded, right? So if they pay them, I'll play them, and that's been my motto this earnings season, and that's how it's gonna be this week. Okay. So, if you like this video and you're looking for more information on trading earnings with options or swing trading with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Hope you have a wonderful night. Stay well, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.